Hey y'all, it's me, Tara Strong, aka Miss Minutes for Bama Geeks. I hope you're ready to watch, and if you don't, I will have to prune you. Stay on your sacred timeline.
And a fantastic Sunday evening to you. Happy Star Wars Day.
May the 4th be with you.
Oh,
Jakes.
Go ahead, Kevin.
May the 4th be with you.
And with you as well.
And with you also?
Yeah.
And
I mean,
us?
yeah, all of us. Yeah.
I decided to wear a Star Wars shirt like Jess, but you can't see mine because it's camo.
Yes. Yes.
In true Alabama fashion.
Yeah.
Look at Ice Knight there.
Ice Knight's here.
Hey. Yeah, we are back together. All of us.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah,
and, Ice Knight just joined us in the Bama Geeks front porch just a few days
yeah,
ago.
That's
Cool.
right.
You know
New
what?
member to the porch.
I was in Europe and Brock called and told me I had to come home.
Yeah. We couldn't do it without you, man.
I know it.
We got to have you here. Well, as you are piling into the live stream, we thank you for joining us. I'm Brock Parker. That's my wife, Jessica.
That's me. Hello.
Sure. Did you put Shane's up there?
Not
No.
yet. No.
Okay.
I got you there.
There you go.
Well, you know,
Star Wars Day is not until the 25th. I don't believe in Hasbro's artificial
got to
date.
sell them toys. What can I say? right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So real quickly, as you're piling in here, head over to BamaGeeks.com when we're all finished, because that's where you can find everything that you really want to know about the podcast, all the audio and video episodes, blog posts. Just go to the website. Simple as you want to sign up to be a guest on our podcast, you can do that on the website. You want
Yes.
to leave us a voicemail? Oh, just hit that microphone in the bottom right corner. You can do that on the website.
It is the one-stop shop for Bama Geeks.
Exactly. You can check out our past guests, and some of our past guests may be coming back again soon. You can hit us up on social media as well at Bama Geeks everywhere. As a matter of fact, we're not only streaming this to YouTube tonight, we're also on X.
Mm-hmm.
If you can get
Hey,
to X,
Hey.
if you can get to X on your iPhone, because the latest update has borked X. I can't use the app on my iPhone because something's funky with the updates. But if you're
Okay.
on Android, like the two gentlemen below me,
Yeah, that's the Android down there on
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
down
that's
there.
Club
Yeah.
Android. Or if you're on desktop, then you can enjoy us on X right now live. We appreciate you being here. Also, be like Ice Knight. You can join us on the Bama Geeks front porch. Just go onto Facebook, should you care to use that platform. And we've got a private group there where we share some things, and we'll stay a little bit more in touch with you. And also, thank you so much to our top members, Jamie and Mike and Darnay and Jack. They've been with us a long time. They're our top Patreon supporters. You want info on Patreon or how to support us? Go to the website, which is BamaGeeks.com.
They are the pillars of the Patreon.
They are.
They
There
really
are Mount Rushmore Patreon.
The four horsemen
Oh yeah, there we go.
of the Bama Geeks
Four.
Patreon.
That's the fourth. That's the
Say
fourth to
four,
be
so
with us.
four.
Yeah, that's the fourth. Yeah, may the fourth be fourth be with you.
Yeah.
There's our four right there. Yeah.
The 4 horsemen of the Bama apocalypse.
All right. So welcome in, Shane, again. You mean those $50 bendy plastic toys at the rate they're going?
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to know, do you have a hot thermal mug on there?
No, but we have balloons for the kids.
Well,
No, not yet. No. This is where I'm going to go Brian last. No, we don't have. No.
Yeah. No, you cannot say that we have those things. We cannot
Yes.
endorse that we have
Yes.
those things.
We have nothing for sale on BamaGeeks.com outside of memberships.
Who would
because-
want to buy merchandise from us?
Hey, look.
Hey, I'll
Come on,
do a
man.
cameo if somebody wants to personalize one. Hey, I'll figure it out.
Look, tell you what, if you hit a super chat for $50 tonight, Bo will send you a personalized cameo
Exactly. Yeah,
message
Cameo.
eating mayonnaise.
Jesus.
And trust me, trust all of us right now. Bo is feeling a little bit into it right now. He's
Yes, I had to take some medicine to recover from being a full weekend with lots of children.
Daddy has some medicine.
Yes.
Southern medicine.
he's got grandpa's cough syrup running through his
Exactly.
veins, right?
Exactly.
So we did our
Wait
our
till
member
then.
episode, and it was so funny because Bo is he's a little bit into grandpa's cough syrup a little bit, and he didn't notice it until he stood up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They always say bite you on the boo boo when you stand up. So hey.
When we first started the stream, we were talking about Bo being in the cough syrup, and I was into some Hungarian cough syrup as well too. So
Yeah.
I don't think I quite kept going with it like he did. So
I mean, I just had a recommended dosage, so hey.
So you didn't get a refill before we went live?
No, I didn't want to do that just yet to us. Maybe
Oh, come on.
maybe when one or more of our well, if I didn't have work in the morning, that's the thing about it.
Yeah, we get that. We've got a
Oh yeah, look at that. See,
Ice
look.
Night knows.
He knows.
Yes,
That
I'm
man,
here in
yeah.
Palinka. Yeah, exactly. I have a jug of it about this big.
Yeah, we got to be on our best behavior tonight too, because we're catching a flight in the morning to New York.
What time is
New
y'all's
York?
flight?
It's not. We don't fly out till after close to noon.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, it's not. Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's not too bad, but still, we got to get to the airport.
We got a little bit of a sleep
Oh.
in.
Ice Knight says he has Hungarian roots, so that's
Oh,
there you go.
okay.
Nice.
Oh,
Gotcha.
very cool. So yeah, Kevin is back from a trip in Hungary just in time for Star Wars Day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's always kind of a cool thing for me because both Bo and I have birthdays at the end of April, right?
Mhm.
And mine's always close to May the 4th because mine's on the 28th. So it's always really cool and I don't know. As I've gotten older, I've gotten more picky about Star Wars. It used to be that everybody would just go, let's go buy Kevin some Star Wars for his birthday. And I just turned 45, so nobody buys me gifts anymore unless they're like really close to me anyway.
Yeah,
So it's like you know how it is, and
Mhm.
even when that's the case, I'm still picky about it. So usually I
Yeah.
wind up telling you like what I want anyway. But given that I was on vacation, it was a little bit easier to do because it was like there's a ton of stuff over there that I didn't know anything about. So it's like I'm going to give you this thing. Cool, that's cool. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Shane says
And
New York
salsa.
City, where they don't know how to do baked beans,
and salsa.
Yeah.
and that's
Salsa.
okay
New
with me.
York City.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay with me. I don't like baked beans.
Yeah, Brock doesn't
Yes.
eat baked beans. Brock is the guy at the cookout that just has barbecue and chips.
Yeah.
He
You're
doesn't
not
do the-
alone. It's a texture thing, I think.
Yeah.
He doesn't do potato salad, baked
Oh,
beans,
no.
coleslaw,
No.
any of that stuff that
Much as
that-
you love mayo, and you're in it.
Look, I will put it on a pear. Don't give it to me mixed in with cabbage,
cabbage.
and stuff.
Yeah.
I will tell you, there was a point when my mom told me when I was a kid, where how kids go through those phases where they'll only eat one thing, or they only really like to exist on one thing. My poison was beanie weenies.
Mm.
You remember
Okay.
beanie weenies?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh
The
yeah.
kid, that's all I would eat was beanie weenies.
I'll eat Vienna
Mm.
sausage. You
Oh
know,
my
Yeah.
gosh.
close to it, just without the baked beans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told the girlfriend at some point I want to go to Vienna because I want to find out if the sausages actually taste like Vienna sausages.
That's your
I'm
whole.
gonna be like, I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna take a video and I'm gonna go, guys, it's lies. It's lies. They're nothing like what we have at home.
Yes, Armor Star is superior to the authentic.
And no saltine crackers to go with them either.
I used to eat the potted meat
Yeah.
as a kid.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know if I do that now because of all the sodium.
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
different time then.
It is
You
a different
can
age.
crack that thing open and you peel it back and you just smell it. And you're like, "Yep, I have my salt content for the day." That's all.
You saw
Yeah.
content for the month.
Yeah.
It's like when we eat Chinese, we always get the low sodium soy.
Mhm.
'Cause, man, that the regular is just way too
They'll
salty.
knock you over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it will. So
Things you realize when you get older.
yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of feel like we're just continuing our members only.
We are.
episode.
I used to be cool. I
We're
didn't
just,
worry about
we're just talking about whatever. So yeah, we were talking about Star Wars Day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as usual, Star Wars Day, tons of deals, tons of cool stuff that
Yeah.
you can buy, things on sale and stuff. But the big thing to talk about is something that that's kind of got the whole internet abuzz right now is Andor. I remember not a time not too incredibly long ago. I'm like, guys, you got to watch Andor. The show's amazing. It's great. And y'all are kind of like, Kevin, we'll get to it. I mean, obviously it's no Mandalorian, right?
No, it's not.
Right.
We're still going to get to it.
Right. Okay. Right.
We're just,
I finished the first season. I gotta get on season 2.
Did you?
Season 2 is so like they were like Tony Gilroy, the writer that does this. He was like, "You guys hold my beer." I mean, seriously, that's kind of the way season 2 is. It basically, and for folks that don't know, they were going to do multiple more seasons. They had originally planned, and then they were like, "Look, he's not gonna." We all talked. They're just not gonna. It's not gonna work. We're not gonna be able to. We don't want to go through all the multiple years it's going to take to do this because they do real sets, real everything. So they decided, okay, we're going to do this as one season, and then we're going to age it. So like every 3 episodes, they go a year closer to BB, the Battle of Yavin, or Andor, or Rogue One. They get closer and closer to Rogue One, and God, man, so far, and the release schedule, the way they've been doing this, releasing it 3 episodes at a time, has been absolutely perfect because they're all those 3 episodes are kind of linked, and then they jump forward in time a little bit, and they jump forward in time. They don't do that in season 1. When you guys watch season 1, it's very important to know that they don't really do that much. They jump around a little bit with him, being younger and kind of the whole season 1 is about Andor becoming Andor. And then season 2 is about Andor becoming what he is in Rogue One. And then all the characters that are in there. And my gosh, anybody that's seen it so far, the level of intrigue. I mean, this, Tony Gilroy also has done a lot of stuff, but he also did Bourne Identity, the Bourne series, a lot of that. It's almost like he was like, let me do something even more than that. Just the intrigue. I mean, I was telling him, I was literally like on the edge of my seat doing like this, watching the 6th episode here. and I watched that today of all times, but yeah, it was, yep. Shane's got it. The Battle of Scarif was just right before the Battle of Yavin. So, but yeah, no, Andor can't speak. Of course, I'm going to endorse it. I'm a huge fan of Andor. It's got one of my most favorite episodes of TV ever that I still watch now. But apparently the next, I think it's the next set of 3 episodes are all directed by the same guy who directed, I forget his name, but he's the same guy who directed all of the prison episodes of Andor, which are the episodes I like the most for season 1. So, I can't wait. Next week's gonna be some really good ones. But yeah, you guys can imagine me. I'll watch the first 3 episodes in Hungary.
Oh yeah.
On my little 13-inch MacBook. I was watching them. I was huddled up here, and my girlfriend was right over here, and we had the thing on, and we were like, right before we went to bed, we were like, let's watch an episode. We watched the episode, then go out and see a castle the next day, and come back and watch another episode, and then so we got caught up on it at the very least. But man, this Andor is where it's at, and I'm really hoping, guys, soapboxing here a little bit, but I hope that Disney is seeing this, because I really hope that my dream of just having a series where Vader just comes out and just spends the whole time just wrecking stuff. Like Jedis, they're gone. knocking down Jedis, going out in the middle of a battle, showing us like why Vader is Vader. Why was he feared? Why was he such a awesome force for like the 501st and just stormtroopers in general? Why did they all respect him? Because the dude could go out in the middle of a battle and lift up armaments and throw them at people, and you know, like
that would be cool, because you think about it, he's also hunting all the remnants of Jedi. Well, they could cast somebody. You could have a one big time guest star as like a Jedi, and then boom,
Hayden's back in it now, full time. He's loving doing this. So it's like this is when you want to do it. This I mean, they really should be on this already.
They need to be capitalizing on this, right?
Yeah,
really, because that's kind of what I was getting at, is that I think Disney wasn't quite sure if having adult Star Wars was going to be okay. Because Mandalorian is not adult Star Wars. It is for all ages, right? Whereas younger folks are not really going to get Andor as much.
Yeah,
you're not going to get the intrigue because it's more of an adult show.
Yeah.
But yeah. And Shane, thank you, Shane, for pointing that out. They did it with the Vader comics. I do think that they really need to do that live action, because, man, could you guys just imagine a show where Vader just comes out? I mean, just the ending of Rogue One, right? Where he's in the hallway and then they added that. Yeah. Imagine that, but a show.
Yeah.
Of him doing stuff like that.
More of what he did like in Obi-Wan, where you got to see him. Yeah.
They could even do it where it's like, here's a tale of where Vader took down this Jedi. Here's a tale when he found this. This is when he worked with the Inquisitors. I know I'm kind of going nuts with this here, but I really hope that Disney is listening, and they're like, okay, let's get switched. If they want to continue to do the streaming thing, whatever, that's fine. They're going to do what they want to do anyway. But if they wanted to switch it back to a movie, that would be a beautiful movie too.
Yeah,
just a standalone movie.
And didn't James Earl Jones give him the blessing to use his voice?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Not just that, but he also did recording so that they can now CGI his voice as well.
Yeah. So I said he gave him the blessings. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he actually helped them out with that. So it's come on, man.
He's Vader forever.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the most iconic, if not the most iconic movie villain of all time. It's Vader. So it's like, just come on, guys. Just it's a free money factory here,
I get you. I see where Shane's going here. Yeah, it is better when he's. Oh, sorry.
Nope. We're clicking on it at the same time.
Yes.
So yeah, he says personally, Phil Vader needs to cook more in the background, as if you show him too much, it'll lose its charm.
Well, see, like that's where a movie would be good. Build up to a movie.
Yeah,
I get that, and I get where you're coming from on that, Shane. I don't agree with it. I think that if it's done right, that Vader wouldn't lose his charm. Even if the show were to be named after him, they could intersperse it with Inquisitors, because he's the one who started, building out and supporting the Inquisitors program. And I mean, it could be done in such a way where he isn't like the boogeyman, like in the background, or they could literally direct it like he is the boogeyman. Like you've got you guys. I don't know if you guys ever watched the original Clone Wars cartoons, the ones that were done by the guy who did Samurai Jack.
Yeah,
I forget his name. Jetty Tchaikovsky.
The ones that aired on Cartoon Network.
Yeah, the one that were on Cartoon Network. Exactly.
Tarakovsky.
Yeah.
I also did the Powerpuff Girls.
There was a scene in there where we had never seen General Grievous before, but there was a scene where there was a whole bunch of Jedi, and they were like surrounded by battle droids, and they were in this area where it was like a blown out like a vehicle or something, and they knew of General Grievous. Everyone had heard of him, but then all of a sudden they start hearing clank, 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 clank of him walking, and one of the Jedi that looks surprisingly like Shaggy from he is flipping out and he runs out, and then Grievous just jumps down on him. Like a scene like that where General Grievous was the boogeyman.
Yeah, they
could do that with Vader and still have it be his show. Like, we know that Vader's going to come in at some point, and they could tell it that there are so many ways they could do it. But so they just need somebody that of the caliber of Tony Gilroy to do it. And Tony Gilroy's already said, I'm done after this. He has nothing else to tell. This is his story. He started it with Rogue One, and now he's going to be done after this. So, he won't, I don't think he's ever going to do anything again. But there's just like such an opening here with, I mean, they could bring anybody in this to work on that. I think I just hope that if they do decide to do that, it has oversight, which is what a lot of the problem that we had with previous movies and things. So, but yeah, no. So back on Andor. I mean, obviously, I'm going to be huge on it. Phenomenal show. We're halfway through it now. The second season. We got 6 more episodes. The next 3 air this week, and then we have 1 more week after that. We have the final 3, and that will be it. We will be caught up. And we'll be able, you'll be able to watch, the prequels, and then you can watch Kenobi, you can watch Andor, then you can watch, Rogue One, and then watch the original 3 if you want to, and then you can get a good little movement into there. So yeah, definitely recommend it. It is literally the best Star Wars. It is.
Well, I promise we will get to it, because I'm seeing, not only from you, but a lot of other people hyping this thing up. And if it's got good hype around it, I want to see it.
It's well deserved. You guys were like, it's just Kevin just likes this show. He just wants us to watch it. It's like, no, it really is like insanely good.
Well,
No,
also
it's just
more
time more than anything.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's the big thing. Other than the the Revenge of the Sith re-release, which that actually ranked. So far as I think it made like what 25 million or something like that.
Yeah, it did pretty well.
It was nuts, and of course, Disney's looking at it going, I guess we should re-release everything. Now.
Which is funny because it's like the 10-year anniversary of The Force Awakens.
Yes.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Really?
Yeah.
Already?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
If not already feeling old enough.
Oh, it's too bad they didn't make an 8 and 9, huh? Oh my gosh.
Force Awakens was a fantastic movie. That was
Force Awakens was great, but it was also just a rehash of A New Hope.
It was, but that was during the craze when the 3D craze.
Yeah.
That was one of the only movies to get 3D right, in my opinion, because when Poe Dameron when they're looking into his cockpit from the side, and you see out in space, and you can see through it and see and get that dimension. That one scene sold that whole movie for me in 3D. That was super cool.
Yeah, that movie was one of the only movies I've ever been to in 3D that was worth being in 3D. Honestly, that movie was incredible. It was almost like it was made for 3D, even though it wasn't. Yeah. It's just they did it right. Yeah, it was really good.
Absolutely did. I hate 3D movies as far as how they've done them, but that one, that was the best one for sure for me. Yeah. So, how's everybody celebrated today, Star Wars Day?
Bo came back from the beach.
Bo.
I came from Tatooine with excess water. So
I've been packing for New York City.
Yeah, I have too. Yeah. But they had Disney's been doing these little shop drops. I'm known as a collector. What? Go figure. But I really have gotten out of it just because I don't find a lot of joy in a lot of modern toys and stuff like that anymore. But
I know where he's going with this. Well, I have a big feeling I know what you did.
That's sad.
No, you got to use the Star Wars line, Jess. I have a bad feeling about this.
Oh, I have a bad feeling about this.
Well, that
this
bad
deal
feeling
just keeps getting
true.
Worse all the time.
Yeah. So at D23, they released the Star Speeder from Star Tours. And it was a white one, and it was severely limited, and it made a lot of people mad that they couldn't get it. Well, today at 10 o'clock this morning, Jess and I are sitting in church. I've got my phone. I've got my phone pulled up. The choir singing. Thank you, Carl. Enjoyed the service.
Yeah.
Choir singing. Brock's ordering this.
Yeah.
So, they dropped the second edition of the Star Speeder today, and it's almost like the first one, except it's got the Adventure Continues colors. And Captain Rex was in the first one. Paul Rubens, Pee Wee Herman, his voice. But this time they got C-3PO in it. And this thing holds 25 of the original scale, the vintage collection figures, the 3 3/4 inch, holds 25 of them. But there it is, lights up. It's got R2 sitting there at the top. Instead of Captain Rex, you got C-3PO sitting there, and that screen behind him right there shows scenes from Star Tours.
Well,
Yes.
Isn't that just nifty?
Yeah, but you can sit your figures all in there. They're all happy. I don't see C-3PO wearing his seatbelt.
Oh, that's dangerous, C-3PO.
Yeah, that's very dangerous.
Yeah.
So shame on
buckle
him.
up. Hey, could you put other things in there other than Star Wars figures?
Of course you can.
Like G.I. Joes and
Absolutely.
and the Ghostbuster figures that are that scale.
You can.
Man, you could have like a melting pot of people in that thing.
It just sounds like a commercial.
Yes.
You can stop shilling, Jess. We didn't get this for free.
Dang.
So,
Oh,
believe me, it's a 12-month payment plan for me.
yeah. Well,
I couldn't help it. I wanted that original, that first release Star Speeder so bad. But so Disney re-released this today, and thankfully, I don't think it may still be up for pre-order. I don't know. It's going to be releasing in September. Maybe they're giving people a chance to, get their orders in.
Yeah.
But that, and I've seen other people's, and it's huge. It's big, and it lights up really cool. So I had to do that today.
well, it's also a memorable Disney ride. It's a fun ride.
Yeah, it's just one that I've loved forever down there. So
This made me think. I want to show you something. This was where we're talking Star Wars. I saw this on Reddit today, apparently from the Huntsville, Alabama subreddit. But apparently, somebody said apparently they had a X-wing there at the Space and Rocket Center in the 80s. We're going to do some. I want to do some fact checking on this, but I felt like this should be shared. If this is really true.
I think that is true.
it says back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yes, this is
I want to
1980s X-wing Space and Rocket Center.
I want to say that is correct, but it could just be one of those Alabama urban legends. But I think you're correct on that.
That's really cool.
Sorry,
I didn't get to see that in person.
At some point, we tried to send it into space.
Yeah.
That's why it's there.
So if anybody in the chat can validate this, or if not, I'll do some research for post. But I just got on the subject. I was like, hey, let me throw this out here because I just remembered it. So
I love how it's got how it actually has a paved ramp, like a pathway that goes up to it, so that you can walk to it.
let's see if I
That's
can make
great.
it larger. There we go.
I want to say that
Look at that denim.
mentioning that because we did go on field trips there, and I want to say that I did see that at one point in time.
Okay.
But-
Very cool.
See, and Ice Knight also sounds vaguely familiar. Yeah.
Well, and the thing is I mean, granted, I'm gonna be that guy, but it's not the scale. The thing
Yeah.
You're
You
gonna
have
be
to-
that guy.
you have to have a ramp to get on in it. I mean, it's not big enough.
Yeah.
It's not big enough to be an X-wing.
Spoken like a true Star Wars costumer there.
Yes.
It ain't a scale.
Big comic book guy. Well, you're supposed to have a ladder to get on.
Well, actually,
But there's your that.
Yeah.
nice. I hate I missed that. We're gonna maybe that's a retirement project in a few years.
Building an
Just-
X-wing
Build something.
Yeah.
out in our backyard.
Something for the
Well,
the decorations.
yeah.
Okay.
Who knows? Look, you want ceramic geese for the front porch. I can build an X-wing.
I do want ceramic geese, and I
You
want
can
to dress
3D
them up.
print geese. You can have an army of geese in your yard.
Oh, Kevin,
They do make they do make concrete printers.
they do.
Yeah,
That
they
is
do.
true.
Yeah, they're
you can do that.
huge because they can 3D print a house out of concrete.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, yeah.
It comes.
we
Oh, it
could
says
actually
it
do
comes
that,
from the
yeah.
Rocket. Shane says that comes from the Rocket Center official account.
Okay.
Very nice.
There we go.
Ice Knight said, "Yeah, hotel in the back looks like it matches."
Okay.
Look, if
Oh.
Disney can put the full size Millennium Falcon in Galaxy's Edge, I can put one in the backyard.
Man, that's impressive.
Well, granted,
Oh,
they
you know,
they have the money.
there's a
But-
company that makes I forget the company, but they make the big inflatables that the kids can play in. You can get a big inflatable Millennium Falcon.
I'm for it.
Yeah. So it's huge. Like it's like I don't know if it's the size of the Millennium Falcon, obviously, but it's huge. You can poke your head up out of the turrets and all kinds of stuff. I'm like, you know what? And I'm sitting there trying to like go, okay, now if I were to start a small business and I were to rent this out like 12 times at this price, it could pay for itself, and then it's just in my backyard.
But then me, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get a ladder, jump out of a tree, Minoc attack. I don't know.
And then you bounce off, and now you're in the hospital.
Yeah, exactly.
Shane said, "Magic jump inflatables."
Yep, Shane would know. Yep.
Yep. There was a guy when Alabama Phoenix Fest was wrapping up about 11 years ago that didn't they have a full size cockpit at Alabama Phoenix Fest?
I want to
Yeah.
say something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool. I didn't get to go sit in it, but I saw it across the way.
That was fun.
Yeah, and I got Sora's hot toys. I just haven't put out yet.
Mhm.
Like I've got the deluxe versions of the Obi-Wan Kenobi, Vader, and Obi-Wan that have not been out of the box yet, and I really want to display them. But space danger in the house.
Hey, look, I've got
No
with Gentle
space.
Giant. I've got a pre-order that's been on pre-order for 2 years now.
Which one?
And I'm what was it?
I can't even remember. It's been so long.
I can't remember if it's the Hera Syndulla or the Kino Loy. It's one or the other that has been
Yeah.
on there for like 1.5 to 2 years now. And I looked on there and they were like, "Yeah, we're going to be shipping it next month." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it." Ever since I forget who it was that bought Gentle Giant. It's another one of the toy companies that bought them, but ever since they have that, their delivery of pre-orders has slowed down quite a bit, and it may not have anything to do with them. It just seems like it has quite a bit, but they still deliver really awesome stuff. It's just we put it on pre-order and then you forget about it, and they're like, "Hey, can you come update your shipping address? We're getting ready to bill you $150." And I was like, "Okay, I got the money."
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be glad when we get space in this house to put all our crap out. Be so
Man,
nice.
it's gonna be amazing when we finally get all the stuff out of the boxes and actually see it, and then we remember, oh yeah, we do have that.
Yeah,
You're gonna have an entire backlog of unboxing videos you could do.
dude, everything that I've got in the boxes right now will be vintage by the time we get it.
Or like when we
You
get
guys
our,
are going to have to buy a McMansion or an A-frame so that you have enough to put your big banner up too, bro.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, 'cause
Either
it
that
has
or
to
you're
have-
gonna be like, you could be like, do I really still want this? If not, you could flip it. I mean, it's still new in box.
I have a few things. I have a few things that I've thought about lately that it's time to sell because I have no interest in it any longer. But all my hot toys and stuff like that will all go back
Oh,
on
yeah.
display. I love
Nice.
every one of them.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, all the high end items. Like right now, I'm looking at 2 Elvira statues over here across the way that are still in the box because I haven't had a chance to put them up anywhere.
Mhm.
Yeah, so eventually,
Man, when we get that house, we could just have an unboxing the house video.
yeah,
You know,
Exactly.
yeah.
AKA moving.
We'll have more pop culture crap to unbox than we will furniture and living things.
This is true. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not wrong. He's not lying.
Who
No.
needs furniture when you have play pretties? Hey, enjoy the fun stuff.
That's
Who
right.
needs furniture
Exactly.
when you have an Eternia? Which is
Exactly.
right there. Which is-
Underneath this black cloth is Eternia from Master of the Universe. Makes a great display shelf, for now. Shane says, is the unboxing the house
God.
video going to be like MTV Cribs style?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be, it won't be MTV Cribs. It'll be Birmingham Den or something. I don't know.
Could do it Big Brother style and put cameras all through the house. So they'll watch as you guys are unboxing 24 hours a day, because it's going to be 24 hours a day for you to unbox that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to have to take some time off. Yeah. Sure.
As a retirement plan is to move and unbox toys.
And then you got to buy a storage unit to put all the boxes from the stuff that's unboxed in. So that you
I
still
already
have
have
the
a storage
boxes.
unit for that.
Yeah.
I have one storage unit that holds boxes. It's sad.
He's not kidding.
It's pathetic. It's very pathetic.
Uh,
Well, I think you'd be surprised the amount of people who have storage units just for boxes and stuff like that. I mean, it's a huge industry.
Yeah. Well, we just moved my daughter out of college Thursday, so it actually one of my storage units became very helpful.
yeah.
All her stuff from college is in there for the summer.
There you go.
Yeah. So, hey, investment. Kind of. Shane says, now you just compress them or sell the empty boxes to people that want mint boxes.
There are people who
All
are
right.
out there.
Yeah, there are people
That's fair.
who spend a lot of money on boxes. That's not a bad idea. I could probably recoup quite a bit of
Mm.
costs off these things.
Interesting.
That's a
mean,
good
there's-
idea. That's a good idea, Shane. I mean,
That are the people that don't read the fine print on eBay listings.
It literally says, "This is just a box."
Yeah, and bold printing, but still.
hey, I have bought. What was the box I bought? I bought a box. It was for an Xbox. I bought a box for an Xbox so I could sell the Xbox as a new or as a used box.
So you got the box
Yeah.
for the box to sell it in box.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm trying to do
I
that.
did do that.
Yeah. I'm trying to calculate that formula in my head right now. You saying that? Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
bought a
yeah,
box for the Xbox.
and sold the Xbox in the box and made a profit. Look, I just
Hey,
made
it
it work.
works.
It helped.
Exactly.
You okay over there?
Yeah. I love you.
I love you too.
My hubby.
Yeah. So
I
Shane
love
said
him.
he sold some of his GI Joe classified boxes to people for about $20 a pop. That's half the price of the figures right there.
There you
Absolutely.
go. Hey, you do what you got to do to recoup some cost, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
There's people that buy like just card backs.
Yeah.
Like vintage card
Yep.
backs and like empty packaging that had a figure in it,
Mhm.
So yeah.
We saw some empty card backs this past weekend at the Huntsville
Oh,
Pop Culture.
Nice
and Comics
segue.
Expo.
Sure did, yeah.
Look at that.
Segue right on into that.
How you like them apples?
Uh-huh.
I was about to say, let's talk about something else, guys. And then Brock just brought us right into
Oh,
it.
This is what I do for a living.
That's right.
So yeah, so while we've all celebrated in some little way, shape, or form, May the 4th today, Star Wars Day. Last weekend, while Kevin was in Hungary, we were in Huntsville.
Yeah.
Hey.
Bo and Jess and I and Bo's son, we were all cooped up at the Embassy Suites. They're connected to the Von Braun Center. We went up there specifically for Weird Al Yankovic.
Yes.
He was the number one for us. Ernie Hudson was supposed to be there, but he had to back out due to filming obligations. So we did stick around. We met Weird Al. We'll pull up some photos from that in just a second. But y'all got to hear some interactions we had being in the hotel,
Oh, yeah.
right, connected to the Von Braun.
I'm telling that we've decided that anything we're going to have to do, anything that has anything to do with the Von Braun Civic Center, the Embassy Suites is where we're going to be at, because
Hands down.
man, that was so
Yeah.
that
That's
was
a nice
so
hotel.
convenient. Nice hotel, very convenient to the location.
Yeah.
Yes.
So shout out to
100%.
Embassy Suites.
Yeah.
Hilton, I'll take some extra points on my account, please.
You got a banging breakfast, and we'll talk about that
Yes.
too.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah, that's
Go ahead.
Sounds like a restaurant banging breakfast.
Hey.
right.
Yeah, well, you know how usually your free breakfast goes at the hotel. You have your cereals, you have your waffle
Waffle.
makers, I mean, and that's all good and everything. But
Mhm.
man,
Shane. Yep. Embassy Suites is the bomb. Plus free breakfast.
it's very nice. They have an omelet station, Kevin. They got people back there cooking up omelets. And then
Yep.
they got this whole hot bar with a big spread on it. They got grits and gravy and biscuits.
Oh,
and-
those omelets are why the hotel rooms are so expensive.
Hey, I loved my omelet. I had an omelet
Or
each morning. that I
or
was
you
there.
know the people that they employ to make them. That's why it's so expensive. Yeah.
Nonetheless,
I'm blaming the eggs.
enjoyed the breakfast. And I had a breakfast buddy each day. That would be
Yes.
Mr. Booker T. Yeah. Breakfast with Book, as I like to refer to the Saturday and Sunday. Me and him both, we liked the omelet station, and we met at the omelet station each morning at the same time. So
Booker T was our con buddy
Yeah, like
this
Yeah.
time because we rode the elevator down with him, and oh my gosh,
had a good talk with him on the elevator.
yeah, really did
Yeah.
because that
You know-
was. Go ahead, Bo.
so we had a very fun discussion about him being extra tired for the Hall of Fame ceremony, which was a good
Mhm.
memory. I like that. That was a good memory interaction. Cool thing about, like, we didn't bug him for pictures or nothing. We were just
No.
humans riding the elevator together. It was just very cool.
That's right. Billy Zane was on our floor too, by the way, because Shane, you were on the same floor with us, and so was Billy Zane. I didn't get to see Billy Zane, even though he is the prettiest man I ever saw.
What?
He's from Tombstone.
Okay,
He was in Tombstone. That was the line that,
Look.
yeah.
look, don't
Wild-
expect don't
okay.
expect my memory to function right
I
now.
always associated with Phantom, right? That's what he was in. He was in
Phantom,
right? Yeah.
Back to the
Tombstone.
Future.
Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Titanic. Yeah. He was also in Zoolander. You know. So we're
Oh,
gonna have
yeah.
yeah. Uh-huh.
I
So-
first saw him on Red Shoe Diaries, that old Showtime show. Him and Denise Crosby, who were both in Huntsville.
They were. So that one was that. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it.
But either way, though, we had a great interaction with Book.
I was gonna make a comment about Red Shoe Diaries.
Don't. Let's
I-
not. Let's not.
Right, and,
Well,
and
let's
Demon
not.
Knight. Yeah, that's true. I forgot the first Tales from the Crypt movie.
Yeah, Demon. That's right, Demon Knight. Yeah.
I was watching Red Shoe Diaries in high school when I shouldn't have been. I'll put it that way.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Eh.
Skinamax.
No, what? No. It's Showtime.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay.
I
It was
was,
all bad, though.
I was about a teenage boy. Denise Crosby ruined me on Star Trek: The Next Generation and Red Shoe Diaries.
Oh man. And you should have told her that in Huntsville.
No, no, absolutely not.
All right.
Can we move from that conversation?
Yeah. So and also, as we pointed out, like the Embassy Suites was was the same place where a lot of
But
the con guests stayed at.
Recount the conversation with Booker in the,
Oh,
in
okay.
the elevator.
So yeah, just chatting with Booker T and talking about all the traveling he's done lately, WrestleMania and the Hall of Fame. So if you know about the from the Hall of Fame this year, that it went very late into the night. And a lot of the wrestlers in attendance were sleepy, and they actually caught Booker T sitting there with his eyes closed up with his eyes closed.
I'm not putting that comment up there, Ice Knight. But yes.
Yes, multiple techniques.
Oh my gosh.
um,
So anyway, Booker
yeah, so Booker. So
Booker got caught on camera up close with his eyes closed, and they
Yes.
left the camera on him
mhm.
during the WWE Hall of Fame ceremony, and he was clearly out of it.
And his response to that afterwards was, I was praying.
Yeah.
So I mentioned that to him. I was like, but you was praying, right? And he said, praying it would be ending soon. So good interaction with him throughout the weekend whenever we bumped into him. Super
Super nice guy.
Super nice guy.
Yeah.
And you don't, and it's like I said, we were like Kevin Eastman was in the hotel, and so was
Yep.
Timothy Zahn, and yeah, so
Yeah, and Melissa Joan Hart. We were sandwiched Sunday morning during breakfast. We were sandwiched in between Melissa Joan Hart and Booker T.
so yeah,
It's great.
It's an interesting combo.
I'm telling
It
you.
was.
And then Kevin Eastman walked by to go
Yeah,
get his
it-
breakfast. So yeah.
Yeah. That was good. That was really nice. As nobody bugged anybody.
Mhm.
Everybody just sat there, ate their breakfast, and it was just it was awesome to just to sit there and just kind of take it all in. And
Mhm.
so many people, probably not so much today, except in certain situations, Swifties.
Mhm.
But the celebrity worship
Yeah.
that has gone on.
Oh yeah, Armin too. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Armin
Armin was.
Shimmerman,
Yeah,
yeah, Quark from Deep Space Nine was in
and
there with his wife.
Ice Night Booger T wasn't the only one. There were others tired, just didn't recognize them. Yeah,
Mhm.
many
Well,
many people were tired that night.
Yeah.
I brought up to him. I was like, "Look, man, I would even been working that whole weekend. I was tired myself. Let alone I know you've been going strong the whole day." So
Yeah,
Yeah. He was just coming off WrestleMania weekends and all
Yeah.
in the week after and everything that goes along with it. So
yeah, but it was just nice, like I said, the celebrity worship that's happened in the past, and it was nice to sit there and
Mhm.
just be
Yeah.
around people, but not bother them unless they wanted to talk to you. Like
Yeah.
Booker said hi to us in the line, and
yeah.
it was a nice chill environment.
exactly.
Huntsville put on a great show this year.
Mhm.
I
Always.
thought they always do. Jeremy Long, who runs it, I think did a wonderful job this year. A lot of people complained about the parking, but Monster Jam
Hmm.
was there at the same time, plus an arts festival called Panoply. I
Yeah, there
think.
was a lot going on that
There was a
weekend.
lot in that area.
Yeah.
And it, so parking aside, we pulled right into the parking deck underneath the hotel on Friday, and then we Ubered.
Yeah.
We Ubered out for dinner on Saturday, because it was such a mess. But parking and leaving our car there really made it a much better experience. So yeah, Shane said they were putting on Peter Pan in the theater there too.
Then Ice Night Pan. Yeah, we were sitting there Friday night when we had got there, and all of a sudden we started hearing like
Right outside our window.
boom,
Yeah.
boom. It was like, what? There was a fire. They were the Panoply people. They were doing a fireworks show. It was
Friday
right
and
out our
Saturday night.
window.
Yeah.
So
It was loud. I
It-
mean, they were firing almost under our window. We could
Mhm.
see them lighting them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes, that was cool though. I
Yeah.
was like, hey, I came to Huntsville for a con and got a fireworks show too. I
Two of
enjoyed
them.
Two of them, yeah. Friday night and Saturday night.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I didn't decide to go to sleep at that point in time. I would have I would have shot right up out of the bed.
Yeah. But yeah, as we mentioned, we were all there for Weird Al Yankovic. He was our bucket list guest. And
Mhm.
Bo, you mind me showing this picture of
No,
you?
yeah,
and-
you go ahead. You're go ahead. You're fine.
All right, here's Bo and Oliver,
Mm-hmm.
his son. They got in there with Weird Al. And then Jess and I, we jumped in there with Weird Al. Had
Yeah.
to. But yeah.
There we are.
There we be.
As I told him, my son, I introduced him to around. He's 10 now, and I introduced him to around time he was 7. I was like, dude, you only had to wait like 3 years to get into Weird Al and meet him. I had to wait 30 plus years. So
Yeah.
appreciate this moment, man.
Yeah, right.
Big time. And Al was as nice as he could be.
Oh yes,
He was
100%.
so stinking nice. When we got up to him, we told him, I told him, I said, I first saw you in 2007 at Wild Adventures. I believe that's the name of the theme park, in Valdosta, Georgia. And I said, that was when the wildfires were happening. He goes, oh, I remember that. And I said, yeah, because when you came out on stage, you said you had a writer in your contract that you demanded smoke for your concert. And he goes, yeah, that was horrible. He said it was so smoky. And so Jess told him that, this will be the first year, because he's going to be in Huntsville in July at the Orion Amphitheater. And we're all 4 of us are going.
Yeah.
And so, she told him this will be her first experience at one of his concerts. And, I told him it'd be my 4th. And I told him, I said, for my high school graduation, my parents asked me if I wanted if I wanted something big, like a car or whatever. And I told them, I told him, I told them I didn't want a car. I wanted permanent record, Al in the Box, your CD box set. And he laughed. He goes, well, that's an investment.
It's just a picture that in his voice is
Yes.
so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just how Brock said it was exactly the
Yeah.
way he said
Well,
it.
that's an investment.
Yeah.
And which one has held value better, huh?
Well, he doesn't.
In my heart, my CD box set, because I still have it, still all the CDs.
I'm gonna say he doesn't have the car he had when he was in high school, but he still has the CDs. So
There you
Exactly. So
go.
for
There you
sentimental
go.
value, it was definitely an investment. But yeah, man, he signed. We had a mini poster. The 35th anniversary of UHF was last year,
Mhm.
I think, and so yeah, it was last year. And so we had a mini poster from Shout Factory of it, and so he signed to Brock and Jessica, Weird Al Yankovic on it, and so we got to meet him at his table. We had a picture. It's not a flattering picture of us. That's why I hadn't posted it on social media, but it's us at his table with Weird Al. Well, what was your interaction with him like, Bo?
I was good. Like, so we got an autograph from him from one of his pictures. Of course, I let Oliver decide which one he wanted, and of course, hold on, background noise.
What?
Sorry, background noise. I'll have to shut a door here in a second. But yeah, it was good. Like I said, it was good. Got to talk to him. He talked to more. I made sure he talked to more to my son, because I mean, it's cool meeting the celebrities, but it's more like I want him to do it, especially first interaction with like someone. Like, this is one of the few times where I've got him to take a picture with someone, and he's like, he knows fully who he is.
Yeah.
So that was
That's
really
awesome.
big. And let me fix that background noise.
As Bo departs. But yeah, Weird Al could not have been more of a sweetheart. There are very few people who are on my bucket list to meet. The first was Jody Benson, who was in Huntsville again this year. We've met her several times. So that, I'm not going to say the newness is worn off, but it has.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I needed the picture I've got two pictures signed by Pat Carroll, who was Ursula in The Little Mermaid. And one of them, I said, I need to get Jody on to have a dual signed Pat and Jody, which is I don't know. I've got to find a way to get Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd on the same photo, because I've got Michael J. Fox and Huey Lewis, and then I've got Christopher Lloyd and Mary Steenburgen. I don't have Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd together on the Back to the Future picture, so I've got to rectify that. But Al was a bucket list item. Jody was a bucket list item, and I really don't have that many more to go, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, Al was just the interaction. It was a great interaction. He took time. We see him taking time with the people. When you're standing in line, you're watching everybody go ahead of you, and he was taking time with everybody. Didn't make anybody feel rushed or, like you weren't just getting that good experience with him. So that's always appreciated, especially when it's somebody like that is just, they do a couple of cons here and there. They're not like heavy on the con scene, but when you get those little moments, and you're able to be there and do that, and the interaction you get, it's when you walk away feeling like, that feeling good about that moment, then yeah.
And his line was stupidly long all weekend.
Yep.
Good night.
Yeah.
So
His
that's
and
his
Kevin Eastman's.
and Kevin Eastman, and of course Sting, because Sting was only there for 3 hours.
Yeah.
But
yeah, we opted for the VIP
I'm glad
passes
we
this
did.
year, and we're so glad we did. It was well worth the investment that we put into it.
yeah, we got in Saturday morning and almost immediately got to see Al.
Yeah. We just made the cutoff. We had just made the cutoff to the overflow. And then when you have the VIP passes, you get in 30 minutes earlier ahead of general admission. So
Yeah. What you got, Bo?
I was going to show off, like I said, we were talking about Kevin Eastman. I got to show off my issue 3 of Ninja Turtles here. I got him signed. That's why I was just going to make sure showing off our bounty.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I have yet to meet him. I wanted to this past weekend, but yeah, he was absolutely swamped, and I was old and tired.
Ice Knight. Well, he is beloved. I'm
Yes.
assuming you're talking about Weird Al, right? I know we mentioned somebody, but yeah,
And Kevin Eastman.
and Kevin Easton
Yes.
too.
They kind of
But,
all
but,
are.
but Al's one of those people, like, just anybody who knows him in the smallest form
Mhm.
loves Al. I mean,
Yeah.
even if you wasn't even like a fan of his music, especially if you're someone around our age, you're aware of Weird Al. He
Of
kind of,
course.
I mean, he wasn't the originator of parody, but he's the one who made it mostly mainstream that a lot of people appreciated. So
He's the reason I change lyrics to songs all the time.
yeah, well, like I know his
Annoying my
versions of
kids.
some songs better than I do the original versions.
Mhm.
Yeah, Al's just, he's somebody for all of us, that's somebody that we grew up. He was just a part of our lives growing up at even at different stages in our lives.
Mhm.
So, because he's always coming back around, he's always there. He's always been there at different points in our lives. So,
Yeah. And speaking of somebody that we all watched growing up,
Mhm.
hey,
yeah,
Melissa Joan
Mhm.
Hart.
there's Brock and I with Melissa Joan Hart.
Yeah. And I wanted to meet her especially because her husband and I grew up probably 10 miles from each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
Yeah. And so we walked up to her and told her, like, hey, we know you go to Alabama games. She's an Alabama fan. Roll Tide. She said, Roll Tide. And I
Mhm.
said, but I also grew up in Coffee Springs, Alabama. And she just looked at me and she goes, Coffee Springs. I said, yeah. And she turns and she goes, hey, Mark
Mm-hmm.
Wilkerson, her husband, Courses of Nature is who he's the lead singer for, right? That band. So,
Mm.
um, Course of Nature or Courses of something. I can't remember the name. Anyway, he popped his head out and she's like, he's from Coffee Springs. And Mark's like, really? Coffee Springs is a town of 300 people, about 15 miles from, or about 15, 20 miles from Enterprise, Alabama. Everybody knows Enterprise, the Bull
Mhm.
Weevil Monument, all that stuff. He
The
was
scary
born,
Ronald McDonald.
yeah, the McWeevil. um, so, and I was born in Enterprise. He was too. He is 2 months younger than me. And he grew up in, I thought he grew up in Enterprise, or I thought he was, he grew up in Enterprise, but he's like, yeah, I really, for the first few years though, I grew up in Chancellor. Chancellor is right, like I said, about 5-10 miles from Coffee Springs, right next door to it. And,
Small town.
very small town. We started talking about people we knew growing like, whoa, it's like, are we related to them? I was like, I might be related to that person. And yeah, so it was really fun.
Well, Alabama and small towns.
Hey,
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Right.
Yeah. So, that was really cool to meet somebody from next door in Chancellor. And like I said, I thought he was Enterprise only, but when he said Chancellor, I'm like, oh my gosh. So yeah,
Yeah.
we had a wonderful conversation about them. They got married in Enterprise and had a good conversation about the Wiregrass.
Yeah. Nice night. You see Salem there on the table. Yes, she had
Yes.
Salem there with her.
Yeah, Course of Nature is his former band. Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
But I was hoping Mark would have jumped in the picture too, but he ducked back
Yeah.
into the curtain before we had a chance to.
He's probably like, I know everybody's here to see my wife. It's
I was there to see him too because I
I
know he's from
know, but-
Enterprise. But yeah, so maybe next time.
Now, Mark, jump in there with us.
Yeah, maybe next time. But
Melissa had a nice little ring. She had a little ring light
yeah,
in
you can
front
see
of
it there in
her.
the
So
corner.
she had to, she's going to have her picture made. She had to have the lighting correct. So I
Yeah.
kind of appreciate that, though.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, it was really cool to meet her. She's super nice. Hopefully, we get to see her again. Maybe at an Alabama game. But we gotta show off the star of the show here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Look
Look at that
there.
guy.
Hey, look at that guy.
Look at that guy,
Friend of the podcast, Joe Justice.
Joe Justice. You
Yes.
better know him better as Roadkill from Friday Night Frights.
Mhm. I was representing our friends Friday Night Frights a little later in the day. There was Saturday at the con, and Joe came up and look, he's got his shirt on too. So
Mhm.
there you go. We were twinning at the con there, Joe and I.
Always good to see Joe.
Yes.
Hopefully,
Saw a
we get
lot
to
of friends we hadn't seen in a while. It was good to see.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, of course, while we are there in Huntsville, we also wanted to see some wrestlers.
Of course. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, AEW fans will know this lady.
As Thunder Rosa.
Yep,
Yes.
Thunder Rosa. She after we finished in the elevator with Booker T.
Yeah.
We walked we
yeah.
walked out to catch the Uber, and
Yeah.
then Thunder Rosa came out of the lobby and just started walking towards wherever on the grass. And then she's doing a live stream on Instagram. She's looking for ice cream. I don't know where to find ice cream in Huntsville. She just walks out, starts live streaming, walking right past us.
However, earlier in the day, she just about run into me getting on the elevator. So I kind of wish she would have, so I could say that I legit took a bump from Thunder Rosa.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But
No,
I was coming out of the elevator. She was going in. She was on her phone, and she kind of looked up and looked at me. We almost smacked right into each other. So I would have appreciated it.
Shane said the only wrestler I know that has a kazoo in her entrance name. But the big guy that we waited in line, we got there at 9 o'clock, right?
Yeah, we got
Sunday morning, because Sting was only going to be there from noon to 3. So we got in line at 9 o'clock into the VIP line and waited for quite a bit.
Yeah.
So we waited 3 hours, but everybody, and we were the fourth in his line once we all got in there. But it didn't feel like 3 hours because of all the wonderful people that was around us.
Yeah, no, I thought the time passed pretty well.
Very
while we were
quickly.
there.
And we had a lot of fun conversations.
Yeah.
Some people who are going to be coming to Iron City Comic-Con at the end of May. Hope we get to see them again. But the Stinger.
There we are.
There he is. We had to get one with him this year because this is his last year in face paint at conventions. So we had to make sure to get him, and we had a really good conversation with him. He's very soft spoken.
Yes, he is. Yeah. I had to kind of I'm sorry, what was that?
Yeah, I'm half deaf and like, what?
Yeah.
But yeah, Sting was fantastic, and Sting holds a very special place in the heart of this podcast.
He sure does.
Because last year he held his very last AEW Dynamite there in Huntsville, at that same area that we were in. And apparently Bo and I are sitting in the crowd.
Yep.
And it goes off the air. Dynamite goes off the air live. So I pick up my phone and I start recording, because Sting talks to the crowd afterwards. I pick up my phone and start recording, and I post it while after he finishes and walks off. I posted it to our YouTube account.
And man,
and by the time I got home, it was coming unglued. Wrestling Inc., which is a really popular wrestling news site, picked up on it, gave us credit. A lot of people ripped it off. The only footage I have seen of Sting's speech is the footage that I shot. I have not seen any other footage from his very last show.
Yeah, as I'm looking as a recording, it has 119,649 views.
Thank you, Sting.
Thank you, Sting, for making us YouTube partners. Yeah, so that was that was really cool, and so to be able to finally meet him after that.
Yeah, because we've been at cons that he's been at before, but and we were like, oh yeah, well, maybe we'll get to it next time. Well, we decided that this was the time to do it because, like Brock said, this is the last year he'll do cons in face painting. I'm glad he did the white and black.
Yeah, it flows much better with the beard than the red and black.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. He is so gray, y'all. He's not color. He is not coloring that hair anymore. Completely gray headed, and the beard is gray. Of course, he gets to draw the black line a little further down, and it kind of it does work well with the face paint too. So
but
super nice, great interaction with him, and was glad that he was the reason why we stayed till Sunday, because he was only there Sunday for a certain amount of time. Yeah.
Surfer Sting is great. Like I said, even though even though he didn't have the look, Surfer Sting was still in that. And I always say that, like, especially his post match with Hogan, he got more into that. But yeah,
and Sting's another one that kind of like Weird Al. He's been there at different stages in my life,
Yes.
as a kid, and then growing up, and then the time with the NWO, and there's all those different stages of him in his
Yep.
career that kind of went, kind of followed him throughout his career with.
Yeah. And one of his besties,
Mhm.
Lex Luger, is going to be in Birmingham
Yep.
at the end of this month for Iron City Comic Con, and so we're going to go meet Lex.
Mhm.
Gotta meet Lex.
Yep.
What a comeback story he's got. From
Yeah.
his issues. So
Look, if there's one thing that we talk about on this podcast,
we are
is how
consistent. Yes.
how
Yeah.
old we are, how old we realize we're getting.
100%. That's
Yeah.
all we do. Oh, if you only knew what pain my back is in right now. Flying to New York
Actually,
tomorrow is going to be terrible.
I
Huntsville
literally
was a-
started getting back pain from sitting in so many planes and those really uncomfortable seats that they've got. Started getting back pain from that too. So I know the feel. I
How
know
long
the-
was
Yeah.
well, you had to say, how long
Yeah.
how long were you in the air, Kevin? How long was your flights?
Well, but the longest flight was 10 hours.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, I've done longer than that before.
Right.
you
Yeah.
know, but I mean, I don't know. There's something about this time, and then just having to rush and get to, because we almost missed the one going to Helsinki.
Mhm.
So that was that one actually wasn't as long. That would wind up being closer to like 8.5, 9 hours. It wasn't that bad, but
Yeah.
on the way back it was like 10.5 hours, and that just felt like an eternity. It felt like so crazy long. So yeah, and just sitting there, and then you get up and you move around a little bit, but you're on a plane, and so
Mhm.
you can't really do much. It's a big plane, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, I know the feels.
Well, all in all, Huntsville was a great con this year. We had all three of us had a great time there, and I mean, it just keeps getting bigger every year.
Yeah.
And
And Jess and I we're not bowing out of the con scene. We're still going to go to conventions, but it's going to take something special to get us to these things.
Mhm.
And Weird Al and Sting and Melissa Joan Hart and all these.
Yeah.
That was something special. We all had connections to them.
Well, the cool thing about it, Jeremy, the guy that runs the con, is around our age, so I think he does a good balance. Like, he's a good businessman. He gets people that kind of attracts the old people, but then he knows, hey, we got to get these younger folks to get the 90s, early 2000, popular folks. So he does a good job of making sure he gets all of his bases covered.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
And you didn't bring up too Shatner. We did.
Yeah.
Get
Oh
her,
yeah. Oh, okay.
Shat.
All right.
yeah.
All right. The Shatner story. Yeah, I'm so glad you brought this up. So I've had William Shatner's autograph for quite a few years, and I've never had one personalized. So we went over and made sure he was going to do personalized photographs, and he did. So I got him in the monster maroon that says "To Brock, William Shatner." Now, well, this guy in front of us
Oh my.
was dressed in a Next Generation uniform, and I didn't I didn't think anything about this guy. He looked normal, completely fine.
That's how it's like.
Yep.
Brock had a front row seat to a Shatner interaction.
This was gold. So we'll wind down the live stream with this. So this guy, he's in the red, Picard Next Gen uniform, steps in front of him and says, Captain, I am proud to report. And he goes, whoa. And Shatner goes, whoa. Stand at attention. So the guy stands at attention. About face. The guy turns around. March. And so the guy's just trying to shoo him away from the table or something. And so, but he turns back around. He goes, okay, so what were you going to say? The guy goes, Captain, I am proud to report that I have watched all the episodes of the original series. And Shatner goes, you really got to get a life.
Holy crap!
He says, you got to get a life. He goes, you need an education. You need to go to university or something.
The whole Saturday Night Live skit played out in front of me in real
my
time.
God.
Yeah.
And so the guy was like, oh, yes, sir. Yes, Captain. It's like, okay, we're taking a selfie. Am I signing the picture? Yes, sir. We're taking a selfie. Oh, we'll come back around here and take a selfie. And so the guy got down there next to his chair, kneeled down, and then threw his arm around Shatner. And Shatner goes, "Oh, no, 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 no. I don't know where that arm's been."
Oh,
The guy's
it
like-
was great.
The guy's like, "I'm sorry." He goes, "Yeah, okay. Great. Nice to meet you." You know?
Yeah, but I mean, think of how long Shatner's been doing this.
I know.
Man's
Oh my
94.
God.
He's 94.
Oh,
I mean,
But
think of how many conventions he's done. How
Yeah.
many weird freaking fans that he's run into.
oh, he's
But to his credit, he's doing this with a smile on his face.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's having fun with this guy, and this guy does not have a smile on his face. He's bewildered. It was the funniest thing the whole weekend.
I mean, his agent sitting next to him is just cracking. I mean,
His agent's looking at us and just dying laughing. We were standing right next to this guy when he was doing it, and so when it came to our time we didn't get a selfie because we got a pro photo with him last year or the year before. We got to him and we were still laughing, and I told him, I'm sorry, we don't have anything fun for you like that. He's like, "Oh, it's fine." He goes, "Huntsville's a great city. And a lot of things happening here." And it turned into just a really quick, nice conversation with him and him signing. And I told him, "Thanks for coming back here. It's great to see you again. It's our second time, seeing you here." And he's like, "Yeah, glad to be here. Huntsville's great." And that was,
and man, 94 years old and and so it looks so well at 94. I mean,
he is so stinking intelligent. He
Yeah.
is so on top of his game at 94.
mhm.
We should all be so fortunate.
I mean, he's lived to 94. The amount of illicit substances that went through that man's body at a certain point. I'm surprised, and he's still doing really well, and he's still intelligent, and he's still rocking it. That's amazing. They need to do like they did with some of the other rockers and sequence his DNA and figure out how he survived that long given the exposure.
Yeah. He was fantastic. That was my second favorite interaction with him, or second favorite interaction of the con.
Yeah. Sorry you missed out on that. It was a great con. It was we had a lot of fun.
Shane says, "Yeah, the Rocket Man video." Yeah.
Always a classic.
Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Do yourself a favor. Let's look at William Shatner sings Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
Yep.
Yeah. It's something else.
I'm
sorry.
No,
go ahead, bud.
I was gonna say it's kind of a close tie between Shatner in the Rocket Man video and just the glazed look on his face versus Carrie Fisher in the holiday special, Star Wars holiday special. Who is the more glazed out of the two when it comes to their
I have to be
performances?
careful how I describe their states of mind on this podcast. So
Yes. Don't get us demonetized.
That's right.
So anybody got anything else? Otherwise we'll
No, but I'm going to put this out there that we fly to New York tomorrow. Walton Goggins is going to be on Saturday Night Live this Saturday.
Ooh.
The man will be in New York City. Be nice to see him, walking down the street. That's all I'm saying.
can't miss those pearly whites.
And if you're not, and if you have watched Righteous Gemstones and you're not caught up, you definitely need to get caught up because that show is freaking gold, especially this current season. There is a lot of Walton Goggins in the season.
Last episode is tonight.
I will binge watch it at some point. I know it's going to be fun, but
I know I think I know where you're going with that, Kevin. So yeah. I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah. Shane says, after seeing Rocket Man, I'm amazed Shatner has any teeth left after seeing how bad he was grinding them during the
Yes.
And he's probably got him, a nice set of veneers there. Fake teeth.
Mm-hmm. I said, I don't know modern celebrities at all. I'm getting that way very quickly. Yeah. These nostalgic cons are good.
Yeah.
So if you enjoyed the live stream, or if you're watching on replay, enjoyed the video, please hit subscribe to the channel. Please leave us a thumbs up, hit that like button. We certainly would appreciate it. That'll help us with the algorithm. And also, make sure you go over to BamaGeeks.com. That's where we've
Yeah.
got all the audio, video for you. Social media at Bama Geeks, everywhere on social media. And then, of course, we want to invite you to join us, as Ice Knight recently did, on the Bama Geeks front porch on Facebook. And again, thank you so much again to our top Patreon supporters, Jamie and Mike and Darnay and Jack. We appreciate you guys. Jack is in the New York area.
Yeah.
New York, New Jersey area. I don't think we're going to be able to get to see him this time. I wish we could, but we'll have to go back up there soon. This is my third trip in a year to New York, so maybe we'll get a chance to see you at some point, man. So, but thanks so much for joining us. Again, hit subscribe, leave us a rating on iTunes or Spotify. Leave us a comment on Spotify, wherever you can. Leave us a 5-star rating if you like the podcast. We certainly would appreciate it. But interact with us and have a wonderful, wonderful week. Jess's birthday is next weekend. These two guys just celebrated. Jess is about to celebrate. So happy birthday all around.
Thank you.
And we will catch you next time. For Bo and Kevin and Jess, I'm Brock. We hope you have an absolute fabulous week. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye, guys.